Hey yarn friends, my name's Amanda. I am on Instagram at Stitch Banshee. A knitter, crocheter, weaver, dyer. Doing my very first video log, my maker video diary. Super excited. I'm also the dyer behind Banshee Dyes. You could find me at Banshee Dyes on Instagram and bansheedyes.etsy.com. I will put those on the screen, the description box below. I'll try to annotate all of the maker people that I mentioned. I took notes, so hopefully I get everyone's name correctly, but the description box below will definitely be correct. Let's just jump in, right? So this is a video vlog. You could call it a podcast. I'm not going to call it a podcast because I cannot handle that amount of pressure. Maybe I'm aging myself, but podcasts are usually audio only. There's special guests. Maybe there's comedians involved, or they put music at the beginning. I don't know. The production value. Whew. So let's just call this a vlog. We'll keep it casual, get cozy on my couch, and just chit chat about yarn. It's the very first one, so expect lots of lots of stumbling over my words as I get comfortable. But I am super excited to be able to tell you more about the projects I'm working on. Feel free to comment, let me know what you're working on. We'll get to know each other. So let's start out with what I'm wearing. I am so super proud of this top. It is the Vintage 83 tee by Andrea Mowry. She's Dre Renee Knits on Instagram. It's a brioche yoke with various fuzzies from my stash. I think these two are alpaca, but this one's mohair, so it's not super important. The body of it though, this is Banshee Dyes yarn, the very first item, well, garment I should say. I made a hat, but this is the first garment that I've made with Banshee Dyes yarn. Super proud, so excited. Check out my Instagram. I'm sure I'll post tons of pictures of it closer up. It's such a pretty gray color with flecks of teal. Right, so in my mind the inspiration was the barracuda, which is this gnarly, jagged tooth, super scary silverfish. And if you've ever seen them in the aquarium or diving or snorkeling, they hang almost like motionless in the water, like so still, and then all of a sudden it's just a glint against the water as they speed off. It is terrifying. So yeah, I've got the silver scales with the flash, the glint of the aqua blue water. And it knit up so well with her slip stitch pattern through the whole body. I think the original pattern calls for a pretty drastic crop, but I went, it's still cropped, right? It's not a full length top, but it still only used 2.5 skeins of fingering weight yarn, and I don't know, probably 20-30 yards each of the various fuzzies. But super excited. It is so comfortable, so cute. Just warm enough for like around the house during the fall. Yeah, super excited. Great. Well, next up I'd like to talk about some of my whips I've got going on, my work in progresses, but I don't think my phone can handle a full I don't know, more than 10 minutes of video at a time. So I'm gonna break it up into little chunks. You stay there, I'll be right back. Okay. Work in progresses. So I do knit and crochet, but I've really been doing a lot more knitting since I only learned how maybe a year and a half ago at this point. I'm not sure. So there's a lot more new things for me to learn, right? The brioche was new, socks are relatively new. I've been doing a lot more knitting. So expect to see some crochet, but I don't know, no promises. This is what I make when I feel like making. So knit, I'm knitting, that's what's going on. All of that long-winded to say, I knit socks. It's a work in progress because here's half. Ian, such a good kid. I've already got number 2 cast on, just a little baby cuff, but you know, anyone who knits socks knows, or mittens, or leg warmers, anything where you've got to, you finish one, right, and you get that like immediate, whew, I'm done, serotonin, things are great, and then you move on with your life, and like starting the second one just sounds so terrible. So immediately cast on the second guy because I would like a matching pair of socks. Let's talk about it. It's the Tauriel Sock by Rachel Ramo at Maven Crafted. She's so much fun. If you don't follow her on Instagram, you should. But these were inspired by Tauriel of Lord of the Rings. And she used a very beautiful green color for hers. So I felt inspired to do a similar thing. I just, that's so pretty. I have never knit anything like this. Relatively new to socks, right? I think this is pair number 8, and several of those were just vanilla. So I don't know how much that's saying that I've never knit anything like this, but I do think that they are unique and beautiful. The yarn is not my yarn, it is Ritual Dyes up in Portland. This is their Maiden, the 2-ply superwash merino in the Virgo colorway. Not sure how close I have to get to be helpful. Let's see. See, it's so pretty. The baby sock. I have such a cute little stitch marker. This was Gabriella Makes. This first sock only took me a couple days, 2-3 days. So I'm hoping to get the next one finished before next weekend, but we'll see. The reason I'm knitting these socks is because Shelby at the Fussy Gusset is hosting the Tolkien knit-along, Tolkien sock knit-along on Instagram. So if you are a fan of Tolkien, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, absolutely check her out because not only could you knit Rachel's super cute Tauriel socks, Shelby has compiled a whole list on Ravelry of all the different Lord of the Rings inspired socks. So the knit along goes till the end of the month. I'm hoping I can do maybe one more set for my husband before then. There's some beautiful designs, a lot of older like free socks, some newer socks. I think these came out this year. just the whole gambit. We're all into Lord of the Rings apparently, which is super fun. So that is whip number 1. I'm also working on another sweater in my own yarn, in Banshee Dyes yarn. But first, my project bag. Isn't this just the cutest? Halloween is my very favorite time to purchase project bags and just knit accessories, because it's all the spooky vibes that I just want. I want to be Oogie Boogie quilting year round, right? Oh, it's so cute. I didn't write this one down. I'll put it in the comments, whoever designed this bag, because I don't think she's got like a label in here. I want to say like Chrissy. I'll look it up. I'll stop BSing. This is another sweater. Knit. I am getting better at my color work knitting. That's a big goal of mine in 2020. And I've had so much time to knit that I have been, getting much better at color work. This is the Occultist Pullover that I started in October when that made more sense. But honestly, I'm gonna wear this all the time. Spooky vibes, right? So I'll finish it for Christmas. That's fine. This was, let me look. I have notes over here, guys. I cannot remember everyone's name. Sheila Stromberg at Notorious She. So she hosted the Occultist Knit Along in October when it was free, but I think that you can purchase this pattern now that it's November, that the free knit along is over, and I highly recommend it. It is so cool. So the pattern is great. It's a mix and match yoke with all sorts of different color work patterns you could choose from. So I mix and matched to pick out my favorite little symbols. But you could also just use one of her preset charts that would give it like a spirit board theme, or a lunar theme, or I think there were some that were very like what's the word, like harvest themed, a little less spooky and a little bit more just the harvest season. But I just pick and chose my favorite. So let's see, get a little closer. So you've got little eyeballs. I love these eyeballs along the top here. They look like lace to me. It's so cute. Little kittens. My husband helped me design this one. I wanted to throw some true crime in there. So this is a bloody axe. I'd like to put some like red splotching down here, but like holding the tension for that and color work was so ridiculous. So I think I'm gonna have to learn how to duplicate stitch, which is, woohoo, a new task. Learn some new stuff. He helped me with this chart as well, these gravestones. My husband is super into pixel art, so the prospect of drawing up a colorwork chart was so exciting. Yeah, so he helped me out with that. The front motif here is absolutely beautiful, these lunar phases. And then I am not sure what's going on here above the sleeves. I thought they were like a 666 number of the beast kind of situation, but they're backwards. So I think they're loopies. I don't know if I like it, I dig it. But I'm not sure what symbol that is, but that's one of Sheila's charts. So I have the whole yoke done. Super exciting. And there's a lot of different options for the body. Going down, doing like an nostalgia chart in the middle, doing more symbols all the way down. I think I'm going to leave it as a yoke with like a regular body and maybe some more around like the hem of the sleeves. It's a fingering weight sweater, and I am the kind of person who has to have 8 whips going on at any point in time, so I don't see myself finishing even in November, probably December. Right? Like it being a Christmas sweater is not an unreasonable guess. So I'd like it to have long sleeves, I think, right? Just a little cozier. It'll definitely be done by next October when I will be wearing it all the time. So super excited. Yeah, this one is Banshee Dyes yarn. So the darker colorway is the Deep Sea, and that is from the What Lurks in the Depths collection, this first half that's already been released. So you could purchase this right now. It is a beautiful purple black, and knit up, especially next to these other colors, like I would just call it black, but it does have that purple, which makes it go so well with the second color, the other prominent. I'm dropping stitches. I need some of those needle stoppers. Y'all seen those? They're like rubber, they go on the ends so that when you're excitedly showing off your color work, you don't drop a whole stitch. Okay. The other prominent color, this like variegated bluish purple, that is also from the ocean inspired Banshee Dyes, but this is an unreleased color from the second half of the collection. This is tentatively named Basking Shark. Let me get it closer. Because there is this picture on the internet that I have seen before, probably on like our Vassalophobia on Reddit. There's the Deep Sea. It's got like some periwinkle blues, it's gray, there's a lot going on here. Anyway, on Reddit, there's this photo that I saw years ago, and it's obviously stuck with me, of this basking shark with his like, these are the kind of sharks that have those like huge, almost round jaws, and sharks have several rows of teeth going in, and it's like lurking in the shadows, and there is just this diver. So scary, but also a beautiful piece of art. I will look to see if I can find it, but if not, enjoy an inserted doodle of what I'm trying to describe to you. Yeah, so in real life, basking sharks are not large enough nor have the appetite to eat people, but that's not really what fear is about, right? It's not about what could eat me. In real life, it is about what might eat me in my nightmares. So Banshee Dyes features yarn that has the beautiful colors of frightening things, but it doesn't necessarily have to be real, and we don't really have to be afraid of it, because sometimes it's healthy to, you know, talk about these things. So, speaking of Banshee Dyes, let's do a sneak peek of another colorway. Let's cut here. Okay, so I've already talked about this extensively. Banshee Dyes colorways. So a couple weeks ago I launched the first half of my What Lurks in the Depths ocean inspired collection, and there were 5 colorways, but I have another 5 colorways planned for the second half of that collection to continue exploring the ocean itself, the creatures inside of it, the creepy crawly depths, all of it. So we already saw basking shark. I don't know, maybe round jaws, big teeth. I'll probably just call it basking shark, but let me know if you have a better idea. Inspired by those massive round jaws, the rows of teeth in a basking shark. It's a beautiful gray periwinkle speckled with blues and purples. A very mottled colorway, the light coming through the water. I also have an orange, and it is so pretty. This is Colossal Squid. So speaking of ocean creatures that are scary but don't eat people on the regular, colossal squids, right? I will probably never encounter one, but the idea is still spooky. This is a beautiful bright orange with orange and red speckles, a little variegated. I think I'm gonna make myself like an orange beanie, right? Like I don't hunt, but people hunt and they wear orange beanies. Yeah, like that. Colossal squid. Yesterday was warm color day in the dye pots, so I dyed up some of this, and I dyed up some of Kraken, which is the red color from the first half of the collection. I'm very excited. I'm going to test out a crop top, bralette, one strapped top in Kraken in the BFL DK, Danger DK. So I'm excited. I haven't actually knit any of that yet, or the new Colossal Squid color. So excited to see how those turn out. Okay. Well, thank you for hanging out with me. I think this video wasn't even that long. Maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes by the time I edit it all together. We'll see. I'm thinking a half hour seems like a decent amount of time to sit around and talk about yarn. But we'll see, guys. If maybe I have more to say, less to say, it could go longer. I don't know. It could. Yes, this is Tyranda. She's named after the High Priestess of Loon in Warcraft. She does not like to be held, but sometimes we gotta snuggle anyway, huh, Tyranda? Yes. Yeah, speaking of vlogs, we'll just we'll keep it casual. Pretty nervous, but I guess I will maybe be able to talk less nervously, more candidly in the future. Right, like any skill, it's something you get better with the more you do it. I'll be able to say less than 1,000,000 times. Not looking forward to rewatching this and counting those. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Find me at Stitch Banshee on Instagram for all of my yarn adventures, or Banshee Dyes for the strictly my yarn all the time adventures, endeavors. I'll see you in 1 to 2 to 4 weeks, depending on when I finish. Probably that Kraken crop top by Test Knit. Honestly, that seems like the next thing I'll probably finish. Can show you what I'm working on. Yeah, leave me a comment, let me know. Okay, bye.